We used to look at birds and think, wow, freedom. Now birds probably look at us and think, wow, public humiliation. Because biologically speaking, humans and birds are not that different anymore. Birds puff up feathers to attract mates. Humans buy LED lights, post gym mirror selfies, and write captions about discipline while standing shirtless in blue ambient lighting like emotionally unavailable superheroes. Male bowerbirds spend weeks decorating nests with shiny objects just to impress females. Weeks collecting flowers, berries, bottle caps, and bits of plastic, arranging everything aesthetically like tiny interior designers with wings. And humans saw this behavior and said, excellent, let's invent Instagram. Now everybody has a digital nest, a curated profile, carefully selected photos, strategic captions, pretending to look unstrategic, playlist fits, angles, opinions, entire personalities compressed into highlight reels, all screaming the same ancient biological sentence. Please choose me. That's what social media literally is. A giant mating dance disguised as self-expression. Birds sing songs to establish territory and attract attention. Humans start podcasts. Peacocks evolve giant colorful tails that are objectively impractical, dangerous, and ridiculous, all because females like them. The peacock is literally risking survival for aesthetics. Sound familiar? Humans now spend rent money on shoes nobody can walk comfortably in, clothes designed for photos instead of weather, and vacations they don't even enjoy because the destination must first survive the Instagram story test. At least birds commit to it a bit honestly. A peacock opens its tail and says, yes, I am ridiculous, but look at this. I just want to mate with you. Humans do the same thing except we add fake nonchalance. Oh, this old thing, sir, you color coordinated your coffee with your sneakers for an Instagram carousal titled Random Moments Lately. Nothing about this was random. You storyboarded breakfast. And the terrifying part is birds also copy each other socially. In biology, many birds learn what to eat, where to migrate, who to mate with by watching the flock. One bird changes direction and suddenly thousands follow. No questioning, no individuality, just movement. Now replace migration with trends. One influencer says a haircut is attractive and suddenly half the male population looks like medieval poets with broccoli haircuts. One emotionally unavailable girl posts blurry photos with Lana Del Rey lyrics and suddenly everybody speaks like they survived the tragic romance in a black and white indie film. Nobody asks, do I really like this? Do I actually like this? They ask, will the flock approve? Human beings evolve consciousness just to use it for copying aesthetics from people with ring lights. Every era had conformity, but social media industrialized it. Now trends spread faster than thought itself. A bird sees another bird, panic, and instantly panics too. It's survival instinct, but humans see somebody pretend to be confident online and instantly reconstruct the entire personality around it. One viral podcast clip and suddenly millions of people become philosophers overnight. One gym edit and everybody starts talking like Spartan generals preparing for war instead of accounting internships. One soft life trend and suddenly unemployment becomes spiritual enlightenment. People don't build identities anymore. They molt into new ones every month. Birds molt feathers, humans molt personalities. And the algorithm absolutely loves this behavior because social media platforms are basically digital forests engineered to reward the loudest mating call. Think about it. The bird with the brightest feathers gets attention. The human with the loudest opinion gets engagement. The bird with the most dramatic dance attracts mates. The human with the most dramatic emotional breakdown attracts views. We transformed communication into courtship theaters. Every post says, look at me, validate me, choose me, notice me before I disappear. And honestly, the desperation is ancient. Humans are social animals. We evolved needing tribes to survive. Rejection once meant danger or death, and isolation meant vulnerability. Social media hijacked that biological wiring and turned it into a slot machine. One notification, dopamine. One viral post, artificial social victory. No engagement, existential crisis before breakfast. People now refresh apps the same way lab rats press dopamine buttons. Views, like, share, repeat. Birds chirp for survival, humans post for psychological survival. And because everybody's competing for attention simultaneously, authenticity gets slaughtered first. A real personality is too inconsistent, too messy, too human, but a performance can be optimized. So people slowly shave away every weird, quiet, honest part of themselves until they become algorithmically digestible. You can literally watch this happen in real time. Someone starts online as a normal human being, then a certain joke gets attention, so they repeat it, exaggerate it, then become trapped inside it. Eventually, they are no longer a person. They are a character wearing human skin. Birds have fixed mating displays. Humans developed content personas. And now nobody knows where the performance ends anymore. The fitness guy cannot stop sounding motivational. The deep thinker cannot stop speaking in cryptic fake wisdom. The sarcastic meme account cannot be sincere for 5 seconds without losing engagement. The audience doesn't follow humans anymore. They follow predictable behavioral patterns, which means social media slowly pressures everybody into becoming cartoons of themselves. And trends, oh my god, dear trends. Scientists observe that some birds randomly start incorporating sounds into their songs simply because nearby birds are doing it. That's literally TikTok. One audio clip infects the internet and suddenly millions of people are mouthing the same sentence with identical facial expressions like synchronized parrots in a digital rainforest. And somehow people call this individuality. Everybody online says be yourself and then immediately punishes anybody who actually is. The internet only likes individuality in very specific algorithm approved flavors. You can be unique but preferably in the same way as everybody else. No species has ever had this much technology while simultaneously becoming this behaviorally identical. Everybody claims to hate conformity while dressing the same, speaking the same, editing the same, thinking the same, and using the same exact internet phrases recycled every 6 days, like aura, locked in, core, cooked. Oh my god. We are literally watching language itself become trend based migration. And meanwhile, reality quietly decays in the background. People cannot experience moments anymore without converting them into signals for the flock. Food becomes content, love becomes content, pain becomes content, healing becomes content, even living social media becomes content for social media. Birds build nests to protect life. Humans build online identities to protect ego. And those identities become exhausting to maintain because once the flock recognizes you for something, you must continue doing it forever. That's why everybody online feels slightly artificial now, not because humans became evil, because humans became observed. Continuous observation changes behavior in every species. Put cameras around you, like put millions of eyes around humans, and they become brands. And branding is the death of spontaneous humanity. The internet rewards exaggeration, not balance. You cannot simply exist online anymore. You must become more attractive, or more angry, or more broken, more successful, more aesthetic, more controversial. Normality is invisible. So people stretch themselves into digital peacocks, giant feathers everywhere, screaming for attention, starving for validation, and underneath all that noise, there's usually just a frightened human being terrified of irrelevance. But to be fair, this probably isn't some grand moral failure. Humans didn't suddenly become fake. Humans became visible, constantly visible. And no species in history was psychologically designed for permanent observation by hundreds, thousands, sometimes millions of people at once. Of course, behavior changed. Of course, people perform more. Identity becomes strategic. Attention became our currency. But put any social species inside an environment where survival depends on visibility, and eventually everybody starts dancing. So maybe this isn't really about blaming individuals because most people online are not evil narcissists. They are just lonely, curious, competitive, insecure, hopeful, human, messy human. And humans are messy. That's the way it should be. Social media didn't invent those instincts, it industrialized them. It was those instincts were always within us. But social media just industrialized them. It took ancient tribal wiring and connected it to machines designed to measure attention in real time. That's unprecedented. Civilization moved faster than human psychology did, and now everybody's trying to adapt while pretending they already know how to. Which is why the internet feels simultaneously brilliant, creative, funny, exhausting, performative, inspiring, artificial, intimate, and deeply lonely at the same time. It's not just a platform anymore, it's millions of humans trying to answer the same ancient question in public. Do I matter to the tribe? Birds ask that question with feathers, humans ask it with content. Same biology, different app. And maybe the goal isn't to stop being social animals. Maybe the goal is just remembering we were human before we became profiles. Because birds eventually fly away from the noise. But humans, they sleep next to the cage charging on the nightstand. Thank you.